Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Convocation Center here in California, Pennsylvania for tonight's interdivisional matchup between your California Vulcans and the Millersville Marauders. My name is Hunter Garwin, and joining with me today is a very special guest. We have birthday boy Braxton Turner. Braxton, how are you doing today?
Oh, doing pretty good today. Excited to see some PSAC basketball and everything.
Yeah, entering your as we say, your Jordan year,
Yep.
number 23. But yeah, we have a good game for you, all of you tonight. California, your starting lineups. We have number 2, Angel Henry. Number 3, Alicia Young. Number 12, Talia Gilliard. Number 23, Alicia Harris. And number 34, Olivia Huffman. And for the Millersville Marauders, number 1, Sophia Elstone. Number 3, Brenna Ortwine. Number 4, Morgan Mahoney. Number 12, Kaylee March. And at number 20, Micaiah Shaw. Both these teams pretty equal. California 3-2, Millersville 3-1. So it's going to be a really interesting game. Both teams obviously over 500. First game for both of them in PSAC play. So it's going to be interesting to see how each team does.
Yeah, to be honest, especially early in the season, you never really know how that season is going to pan out and how these teams are really going to adjust, if they'll make higher, raise their ceiling, or will it fall, or that can always change, especially this early in the season.
Yeah, definitely early play is going to be interesting to see just how things play out. As you said, things can rise, things can fall. As we get ready for play here to start the game, get ready for tip-off here in the Convocation Center. We've got a good bit of games coming up as well after this game. We have the men's game immediately after this, and then tomorrow we actually have Vulcan playoff football on ESPN Plus exclusively.
Oh.
So as we get ready to tip off here, it's going to be picked up by Huffman. Huffman passes to Henry. At the top, trying to get things set over to Young on the elbow. Tries to get it to Huffman. Able to. Young on the dribble drive. Takes the floater. No good. Pass it back out to Young. Over to Gilliard. Gilliard down to Harris. Over to Henry. To Huffman. Calling it over Gilliard. Gilliard at the top. On the dribble drive. Takes the layup. No good. Rebounded by Henry. And the bucket's good. Millersville bringing it up the court now. That's Kaylee March. Missing it down. Now at the elbow. Underneath look. And the take is good by Micaiah Shaw. Henry now trying to direct things for the Vulcans. Down low to Harris. Harris loses it, and it's going to be Millersville basketball.
Yeah. Harris definitely forced inside. I guess really not one of the premier ball handlers on this team, and I guess just mistakes in general you're going to be due for a couple. But once she gets going, she's pretty dangerous inside.
At the top of Shaw, now down low. Millersville doing a good job at moving the basketball, and that bucket's going to be good by Morgan Mahoney.
Yeah, just a couple plays in a row. They just got decent, good looks inside, and that's exactly what you want, especially when you have players that are comfortable in that area.
Young to Gilliard now. Back to Young at the elbow, looking for Harris. Down low to Young again, loses it, and it's going to stay Vulcan basketball. Henry to inbound. Gets it to Young, gets it up, falls no good. Rebounded by Huffman, out to Young, back to Henry. Henry now across the court to Gilliard, now back to Henry, trying to reset. To Gilliard now at the elbow, near side. Shot clock counting down, Huffman on the dribble drive, gets it up, doesn't fall, rebound fought for, eventually picked up by Millersville. March at the top, down to Shaw. Shaw on the dribble drive, and a nice take there. Micaiah Shaw for the easy layup.
Yeah, it's just a good drive. Huffman just played a little bit too far, a little bit up too high, and just gave that lane, and Shaw saw it and took it, and a good basket inside.
Huffman now at the top of the key. Tries to get it down low to Harris. Harris able to pick up the broken up pass. Cross the court to Young. Young thought about the three, doesn't take it. It's the nice jumper. Doesn't fall though, and it rebounded by Mahoney. And a nice fast break play there. The bucket's good by Sophia Elstone.
Yeah, that pass just was right on the money. Didn't have to slow down her stride at all, and just was able to take it without any dribbles. That's a perfect pass and a good layup. And
just like that, Millersville up 8-2. California trying to figure things out. Harris was looking for the down low pass. That ball is stripped away, and it's going to stay Millersville basketball.
I guess one thing we've seen so far is Millersville, is just doing a good job inside of just clogging the lanes and just making the Vulcans uncomfortable, especially where they get their bread and butter. So they've had their hands all over the Vulcans.
Has Trinity Baylog, who checked in, utilizing the inbound rules, able to just bounce it off the back of the one defender, pick up the ball, and get the easy shot. As that pass is stolen away by Kamaya Williams on the quick layup, and it's good.
Yeah, Kamaya Williams, the freshman. Excuse me, not the freshman, the sophomore. Definitely a big piece as of last year, and was pretty much known for the defensive end, had her hands in all the passing lanes, and got a couple steals off a few ball handlers, and just going back to midseason form as she was last year.
Shaw now working against Harris. Able to get it out to Ortwine. Back to Shaw, puts it up, no good. Rebounded by Williams. Baylog now on the far side, bringing it towards the middle now, trying to set things. Young takes the three, airballed, no good. Able to keep it in bounds. That was a weird series there, but a good move. Ends up being blocked. And now on a fast break is Talia Gilliard. And that falls incomplete. Rebounded by Young. And they're going to say she traveled.
Yeah.
That was a rather weird sequence of events back and forth between the two teams. But in the end, it ended up in Millersville's hands. As Ayanna Williams comes into the game and Alicia Harris comes out. Bringing up the court for the Marauders is Callie March. Over to Mahoney, now to Ortwine. Ortwine now down to March again. March takes the three. Falls just off the front of the iron. As Baylog now on the dribble drive decides to do it everything herself. Gets it to Young. Young, quick, deep two. No good. Fighting for it is Ayanna Williams. Able to get it. Put it back up. No good. Rebounded by Kamaya Williams. Young now on the dribble take. No good. And eventually rebounded by Millersville.
Yeah, that was just a rough possession. At that point, you just say kick it out instead of your offense. As I said, Millersville just doing a pretty good job inside of making any shot attempts in the paint uncomfortable for the Vulcans.
So that shot there off the front of the iron. That was Elstone taking that three, but no good. Rebounded by Gilliard. Slowing things down, trying to set it up. Passes it to Baylog. Just trying to get things set here for California, trying to get some more points on the board. Baylog decides to take it herself, loses it, and it's going to be Vulcan basketball as Shaw comes back in to the game. And that's going to be our first media timeout, but we're not going to send it to a break. We have a quick graphic that we need to look at. Braxton, if you could read that for me.
Oh, my Lord. That's wild. I figured something was going to be up, but I never would have thought, like, that photo. I feel like I've seen that I have seen it at one point or another, but my goodness. Thank you, guys. There's so many different, like, photos that I guess I could have chosen, but my Lord. Alrighty.
Yeah, I was informed of that about a few minutes before the game started,
Yeah.
and it took a lot to just kind of keep that on the down low. And let me guess, and your reaction was perfect.
I figured something was up. Thank you guys though.
Yeah, we've already said it a ton, but from all of us at CUTV, Braxton, happy birthday. He's not going to be able to function for the rest of this game.
Yeah.
But going back into it, 8-6 Millersville. It's going to be Vulcan basketball on their side of the court.
Yeah. Believe it or not, I had dirty blonde hair for probably the first 6 years of my life.
Fun facts. Yeah. As Nina Shaw comes into the game now for California. Shaw trying to get it to somebody. Over to Williams. Back out to Baylog. Baylog takes the three. And it's good. Trinity Baylog.
Yeah, definitely good three there, especially Baylog and Huffman both coming in, especially at the start of the season, having new roles have come into them pretty well. So definitely a good shot there.
It was a good take there by Morgan Mahoney. Put on the old spin cycle on Baylog and able to get the quick bucket. Williams kicks it back out to Gilliard. Gilliard takes the long three off the front of the iron, rebounded by Baylog. Back out to Shaw now. Over to Gilliard. Gilliard looked for the foul, doesn't get it. It's just off the backboard, rebounded by Millersville. Now that's March bringing it up the court for the Marauders. Back to March. Handoff to Elstone. Now back to March. March down low. Has the shot. And it is good. That's Bryn Zentner for 2 points.
That's just good patience inside. Took her steps, gathered her footing, waited till a couple Vulcans flew by and was able to go up with the easy layup inside.
Williams now over to Shaw. Shaw putting on the spin move of her own, has it blocked. It's picked up by Zentner. Hands it off to March, I believe. Now back to Zentner. Over to Ortwine. Ortwine down to March. Back up to Elstone. Marauders doing a good job at moving the basketball, creating some space. Gets Ortwine back down underneath. The nice reverse layup by Bryn Zentner.
That's just a good finish inside. And right now the Vulcans are just playing a bit overly aggressive on the defensive side, especially with how much Millersville likes to get inside.
Ziona Williams' shot unfortunately doesn't fall. Has that taken away by Williams. Ball's going to go out, and they're going to say it's Millersville basketball.
Yeah. Just Millersville doing a pretty good job defensively, and at this point, Vulcans can't really afford to throw up a shot in front of Millersville because they just seem to have their hands on everything. So that means they'll either have to settle for jump shots or floaters right before you get any contact, or use your body to protect the ball, like a hook shot inside as well.
As Harris and Bermudez come into the game, that shot by March falls without hitting the rim at all. Brought up by Bermudez now. Over to Kamaya Williams. Williams thought about it, doesn't take it. Down low to Harris. Harris, nice take, doesn't fall. Tries to put it back up, gets it blocked, but it's picked up by Bermudez. Sierra Bermudez taking it out, trying to reset, get everyone back down the court. Because half the team thought that it was going the way of the Marauders. We're back down here. Baylog takes the three. No good. Rebounded by the Marauders and brought back up now by March. March on the far side elbow. Down to the wing. Gets it down low. Has it blocked by Shaw. Shaw bringing it up the court now. Floater, as you had said about, no good. Rebounded by the Marauders. March now bringing it up. And that's going to be shot by Elstone. No good. As it's just going to go out of bounds in favor of Millersville.
Yeah.
Back in for the Vulcans, number 3, Alicia Young.
As Alicia Young checks in and Kamaya Williams checks out. Inbounded to Elstone. Elstone over to March. March working against Baylog. Checks it down to Mahoney. Now back to March. To Mahoney again. Mahoney on the dribble take. Doesn't find anything. Spins. No good. Rebounded by Shaw. Shot clock doesn't exist anymore. Shaw pushes it to Young. Young on the dribble take. No good. Tries to get it. Rebound is no good by Harris. Now a 2-on-1 here, March. And she's going to draw a foul. That's going to be the first foul of this game.
Pretty much clean defense played on both ends for the most part. And the Marauders, I just can't state enough of how good their inside presence has just been. They seem to have gotten a hand on almost every basketball inside the paint that the Vulcans have shot, and they've just done a great job of playing defense without fouling, which is always a great thing for a team to have.
As the first shot by March is up and good. Extends the lead to 15. Well, not their lead. Their score is 15. I know what I mean. As the second one is good. The score 16-9 with 9.5 seconds left in the first quarter. Shaw picks it up at around half court. Trying to set things, maybe get the last shot. Shaw's trying to create a little bit of space. Young with the quick jumper, and it's good to bring the score to 16-11 at the end of the first. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to CUTV Sports 1 and the PSAC Digital Network. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
The 2024 NCAA Division II football playoffs are coming to Adamson Stadium this Saturday as the number 3 seed California Vulcans play host to the number 6 seed East Stroudsburg Warriors. Game time is 1 p.m. and be sure to follow Cal Vulcans on social media for game day information. Can't make it to the game? Then cheer on the Vulcans as the NCAA Division II football playoffs will be carried live on ESPN+.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Convocation Center in California, Pennsylvania. The score 16-11 in favor of the Marauders. Little bit of, not even, I don't want to say confusion there at the start, but it's whatever. It happens.
Yep.
Things happen. But it's been pretty much all Millersville this game. I mean, as you said before the break, Millersville pretty much taking away everything on the interior in the paint. And as you said, getting a hand on almost every basketball that's been shot by California.
Yeah, so far in this game have held the Vulcans to 19% field goal percentage. Right now, Millersville 7-14, 50%. So they've just done a great job on both sides of the ball at this point in the game.
As Millersville will get the ball at the start of this quarter at about half court. Inbound is to March. March at the top of the key, moving towards the far side to Elstone. California playing tight defense now. Underneath, look, and a foul will be drawn. That's number 3, Brenna Ortwan going up for the shot, gets fouled, and she'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, it seemed like I have to see it again, but it looked like a 1-2-2 zone or a 3-2 zone from the Vulcans at this point, trying to just hold the Marauders into jump shots. And to be honest, at this point in the game, that's probably a smart thing to do, as they just had their way inside pretty much.
As the first shot by Ortwine misses, Ortwine for a second to bring it up to a 6-point lead, and it's good. Shaw bringing it up the court for the Vulcans. Trying to find something going, down 6 here. Still plenty of time, obviously. We still have another whole quarter and a half of basketball to play. As Williams on the nice dribble drive. Doesn't fall, unfortunately. Rebounded by number 11, Ryan Mitchell. Mitchell loses it for a second, gives it to March. March for 3. That was a clean shot by Kaylee March.
Yeah, that's the first 3 they've hit today. So 1 of 5 from deep. Not really favoring the deep shot, but then again, they haven't really had to, and it was just a good shot there on the transition.
Baylog now at the elbow. Over to Shaw on the opposite. Shaw trying to put on the handles, gets the dribble take. No good. Nothing falling here for California. March now bringing it up for the Marauders. At the top to Mitchell. Back to March. March trying to get things going here for the Marauders. Down to Shaw. I believe she was the one who shot it. Foul occurs on the floor. I believe they're going to get Nina Shaw on it. Excuse me, they're going to get Baylog on the foul. That's going to be underneath the basket for Millersville as some new faces for the Marauders check in. Number 5, Jillian Crawford is in the game now. Now Mitchell loses it, and they're going to get a blocking foul.
Yeah, that's of no surprise. Harris just, I guess, a bit aggressive, but every single time you stick out your arms or legs to try to impede the defender and they don't hit your body, that's going to be a foul 9 times out of 10.
Trying to inbound it. They get it to Mitchell. No shot. They're going to call travel. It was a great shot by Jillian Crawford, but unfortunately took one too many steps.
Back into the game for the Dolphins is number 24, Sierra Bermudez.
As Sierra Bermudez comes back in, and I believe it's Harris going out to take a seat for the moment. Baylog bringing it up for California. So I noticed that Gilliard's in. This Young's shot, no good. Gilliard is in. I believe Shaw also came out. March now to Shaw. Tried to get it to March again, but it was tipped away by Gilliard, but able to recover it. Down low again to Shaw. On the take, no good, but a foul will be called. And I believe Shaw will go to the line for 2.
Yeah, just a miscommunication there on the back end. It seemed like Gilliard just floated up, and I didn't really hear anything. I mean, of course, it's going to be a little bit hard to hear any communication between them, but it seemed like they didn't flesh anything out and just they got inside and drew a foul.
As the first shot by Shaw falls no good. Part of me almost said incomplete there, but we're not playing football, we're playing basketball. The second one there is good. Bring the score up by 10. Millersville up 21-11 with 7:51 remaining in this second quarter. Williams now at the elbow. Back out to Baylog. Baylog trying to put some handles. Bermudez for 3, and it's good. Sierra Bermudez, one of the more consistent three-point shooters here on this California team, able to drain that one.
Yeah, definitely can be a weapon if utilized right, and just still early in the season, still waiting for her to really get on a streak.
As that shot there falls no good by Crawford. And we'll go out of bounds, and it will be Vulcan basketball. Baylog brings it up for California. Trying to get a screen. Works her way inside. Doesn't have anything. Gives it to Williams. Brings it out to the wing. Back to Baylog. Baylog tried to get it down low. Able to get down there. Tried to find Gilliard on the shallow cross, but no finding her there. March has it now for the Marauders. Gets it to Crawford again. Now to Ortwine. Ortwine to Mitchell, I believe. Gets it out to March. March for 3, and it's good.
That was just a good find underneath. Gilliard started to float down to the corner, but just found the right person up on the wing. That was just a good look and a good shot.
Score 24-14 now. Still down by 10 for California. Trying to find something. It finds Young there and able to get the quick shot up and good.
Yeah, probably the easiest shot they've had all night. Just a perfect screen set and just a good find.
Ortwine gets it to Crawford. Over to Mitchell. Mitchell trying to put on the handles. Able to get it down low, and a nice take there, but shot doesn't fall. Rebounded by Bermudez. Bermudez at the top to Baylog. Baylog thought about the 3, decides to dribble drive, tried to get it to Young, but two of them not on the same page, and it goes out of bounds in favor of the Marauders.
Yeah, and that's just been a couple times that they've just lost the ball when they've driven inside. And at this point, you just really have to pull it back and slow it down a bit and don't necessarily have to force the issue.
March at the top. That pass gets stolen by Williams. Williams decides to take it herself, and the take is good.
Yeah, and I've said before, Kamai Williams, just a great addition for this team, especially as of last year, especially an aggressive player, and that's what you love to have on your team.
A little bit of handoff action for the Marauders. Able to find March down low, doesn't take the shot. Crawford has it blocked by Williams. Able to get it back, though, as Ortwine thought about taking it, gives it back out to Crawford. To Mitchell now. Gets it to March. And they're going to get, believe, time possession.
For 3 seconds, yep.
Into the game for the Vulcans, number 14, Macy Sardone.
As Macy Sardone checks in now for California. New face for the night. 5:01 remaining in this second quarter. The score 24-18 in favor of the Marauders. Is Gilliard now bringing it up for California. Gets it to Williams at the elbow. Hands out to Bermudez for three. No good. That'll be off the hands of Ortwine, and it'll be Vulcan basketball after the media. We're going to send it to a commercial break. You're listening to CUTV, CUTV Sports 1, and the PSAC Digital Network.
Coach Danny Sancombe and the Vulcans men's basketball is ready to take the conference and the nation by storm this season. The non-conference schedule that starts on November 8th is followed by the PSAC West play in January. Pack the Convocation Center with 13 home games featuring non-conference foes such as Concord, Lincoln, and Wilmington, as well as conference opponents IUP, Gannon, Slippery Rock, Clarion, Edinboro, Seton Hill, and Pitt Johnstown. Follow Cal Vulcans for the all-up-to-date schedule. Catch all the games on YouTube with CUTV Sports 1 and also the PSAC Digital Network.
If you're buzzed and doing this to make yourself feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Convocation Center. The score 24-18 in favor of the Millersville Marauders. 4:48 left in this half. It's been mostly all Millersville this game.
Yeah, pretty much. And they've just done a great job, and I can't really state enough how well they've just done on the defensive side of the ball, especially offensively. Still sitting at 50% from the field as well, and they've just surprisingly not too much difference in the turnover margin, especially with how well they've played. 6 turnovers for the Marauders and 5 for the Vulcans.
Inbound goes to Bermudez. Now back to Gilliard, Over to Sardone, to Williams now. Back to Bermudez at the top. Play clock winding down. Sardone for three, and it's good. Nice shot by Macy Sardone.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good way to come into a game and definitely make your mark. So the more threes that the Vulcans hit, the only better can get for them inside.
It's Mahoney now. Has it stolen away by Gilliard on the fast break all alone, and the layup is good.
Yeah. And just Gilliard and Kamai Williams both playing the passing lanes pretty well, and they just have led to a couple fast break points. You have to love when you have those players that do a great job at reading the passing lanes.
Talia Gilliard again, the senior from my neck of the woods, Mechanicsburg, as a jump ball is called, and it's going to be, I believe, in favor of the Vulcans.
Yeah, California basketball.
Back in for the Marauders is number 12, Kaylee March.
As Kaylee March checks back in for Millersville, as I was saying, Talia Gilliard, the senior from, my neck of the woods, Mechanicsburg. So always good to see, someone from my neck of the woods doing well, especially now here in this game. Gilliard back to Williams, takes the deep two, and it just falls off the front iron. Rebounded on the break by March. March bringing it down the court, pulls it back, gets it to Crawford, I believe. No, excuse me, Mahoney. as the take by Zentner was no good and rebounded by Sardone. Gets it to Young. Quick jumper, and it's good.
Yeah, that's pretty much just been her game. She can go inside as well as her short corner and the midway between the three-point line and the basket. But the more of those she shoots, that can only, as I stated again, can free up more space for them to work inside.
And just like that, as I almost thinking I spoke too soon. No, and just like that, California with the lead currently 25-24, 2:43 and counting left in this first half. No shot, and they're going to get a foul underneath, I believe.
Yep.
And that's going to go against Sophia Elstone. That's her first foul and team's first of this quarter. Gilliard to inbound, trying to find somebody. Gets it to Sardone. Back to Bermudez. Young was underneath there trying to get the ball, but Gilliard just didn't see it. Bermudez on the awkward take, and it falls no good, but it's going to stay Vulcan basketball.
Yeah, and then Marauders, as I said, did a great job there. Zentner did a great job cutting off that baseline, but no one ever came over to Bermudez.
Young from three, no good. Rebounded by Williams on the take. Tried to get it to Gilliard. Awkwardly gets it there. Gilliard from three is no good. And rebounded by Brenna Ortwine, who now brings it up for the Marauders. To March now. To Elstone. Elstone back to March. Nearly lost it out of bounds, but able to keep it inbounds. Back to Elstone. To Zentner, who has the layup, but it's no good. Rebounded by Ortwine. Back to March for three. No good off the back of the iron, and rebounded by Gilliard. Gilliard now slowing things down. Still plenty of time left in the quarter to get a little bit more points. Over to Gilliard at the opposite elbow. Back up to Bermudez at the top. To Williams on the near side. To Young. To Bermudez. Play clock winding down. Bermudez on the take. Has it blocked. Able to get it back. Take is no good, and that's going to fall and stay Vulcan basketball with 1 second on the shot clock.
Yeah,
as Olivia Huffman comes in for Alicia Young. And Ryan Mitchell comes in for Sophia Elstone for the Marauders. So this is going to be catch and shoot here. Gilliard's long three. No good. Doesn't hit anything. Shot clock violation called. Almost looked from where we were standing that it might have been good.
Yeah.
But too far, too strong, and it goes in the hands of Millersville. To Mitchell now. To Zentner. To Ortwine. Playing good defense, California. To Mitchell. Working against Huffman. Able to pick it up. Nice pass there. March again for three. No good. A little short this time. Fighting for it is a bunch of players, and it ends up going out and in the hands of Millersville. As another new face for California comes in, Maya Morgan comes in for Bermudez. Millersville has the basketball. 2 seconds on the shot clock. It's another catch and shoot situation. Gilliard trying to get it there. And no shot, and it's going to be a shot clock violation.
Yeah. Good defensive possession there for the Vulcans, and that's just really what they need to really get back into this game and to build a lead like they really should and they really want to.
Vulcans now able to slow it down with a full shot clock. And about 33-ish seconds, give or take. Gilliard thought about stopping for a second, but doesn't pick up her dribble. Williams trying to find somebody. She's going to try and take it herself. Whistle will be blown. Not sure what was there. It may have been off-ball foul. They're going to get Bryn Zentner on the foul. That's her first and the team's second of the quarter.
Vulcans right now, just not, in my opinion, not running enough offensive sets, especially with the luck that they've had earlier in this game with them.
Gilliard to inbound. Tries to get Sardone, able to. Trying to set things now. Shot clock and play clock almost identical. Williams down low. Kicks it out to Gilliard, who puts it up. No good off the inside back of the rim. Shot clock now winding down. Final seconds here of the half. March puts it up for three. Doesn't fall. And the score at halftime, California 25, Millersville 24. We're going to take a break. You're listening to CUTV Sports 1, the PSAC Digital Network. Don't go anywhere. We still have another half of basketball.
The Vulcan women's basketball team looks to continue its run of excellence into the 2024 season. Put on your red and black and cheer on Coach Jess Strom and her team towards another run to the postseason. Pack the convo for 14 home games for games against regional foes and the best the PSAC has to offer. Don't miss any information on the season by following Cal Vulcans on all social media accounts, and if you can't make it to the games, catch all the action on CUTV Sports 1 on YouTube and also the PSAC Digital Network.
1 in 10 kids vape. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Convocation Center here in California, Pennsylvania. The score, 25-24, California up over Millersville. They were bringing it in a little bit towards the end of the half. Before we get into stats, we want to give a quick shout-out to Mama Kirkwood, who's listening from the Berg with the dog. So shout out Mama Kirkwood. As we get back into some stats here, it's been kind of lackluster in terms of shooting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Millersville, 7 of 14 from the field. I mean, that's not very great. Haven't found anything from three-pointer. What?
7 of 14 is excellent.
I mean, yeah, 50%. But
yeah, I mean, you can't
argue.
As a team, you can't hope for better. As a team, especially.
Yeah, true. But I mean, three-pointers, haven't found anything.
Yeah.
Free throws, made 2 of their 2. Actually, I'm looking at first quarter.
Yeah.
Let me go back into actual game stats here. 9 of 28 from the field, 32%. So, I mean, a little lackluster there. 2 of 12 from 3, 4 of 6 from the charity stripe. California, 11 of 44 from the field, 3 of 11 from three-pointer. Have not found their way to the foul line just yet.
Yeah. Shooting 25% of the Vulcans, and that's amazing to me. Just like they've gotten so many more shots up than Millersville has, but they just haven't been able to knock them down.
Yeah, it's almost like as my dad would always tell me when he was coaching me, there's sometimes a lid on the basketball net.
Yep.
Just nothing falls. Rebounding in total, California leads that department 27 to Millersville's 23. Believe it or not, California actually has less turnovers. They have 5 compared to Millersville's 9. So California able to secure the ball a little bit more in terms of total turnovers. But yeah, as we get ready to get back underway here on this third period, Millersville will get the ball to start. Is March bringing it up for the Marauders. Gets it down to Shaw. Back out to March. Over to Ortwine, then back to March again. Back to Ortwine. Thought about the shot, doesn't take it. Tries to get it down to Shaw, is able to. Euro step denied there by Williams. Able to get to Gilliard. Slowing it down a little bit. Look for Young underneath. And the shot is up and good. And Young will go to the foul line for the three-point play.
Yeah, just a good series of events there for the Vulcans. And just good outlet passes. Always have to love when teams can take advantage of the fast break. And anytime you have a team that does well in the fast break, it generally provides a better outcome for the win column.
Young's shot there is good to make it a three-point play. The score 28-24, 9:30 and counting in this third period. As March will bring it up for the Marauders. Now over to Ortwine, now to Shaw. Looked for March down low, doesn't get it, loses it a little bit. Now back to Ortwine. Ortwine under some defense, and they're going to say that Mahoney traveled before she took that dribble. It's just something you have to be aware of when you go to take that step or that spin move. Just can't pick up that extra foot before you take that dribble.
And I don't know what it is. It's just always something a little bit harder about getting your footwork down, especially when you work inside. That just has to be a more conscious part of your game.
Harris now at the elbow, takes it herself. No shot is no good. Rebounded by Mahoney. Gives it to March to bring it up the court for Millersville. Now moving left to right as we see. Shaw now at the top, trying to get somebody. Gets to Ortwine. Down low for Shaw again. Able to get free underneath and put the bucket up for 2.
Yeah, just last couple of possessions. I'm not entirely sure what the Vulcans are trying to do. Just a miscommunication. It seemed like last possession they were in a matchup zone for a bit, but then just no one underneath to protect the basket, and that's just something you can't have a lot of in close games like these.
Vulcans doing a good job moving the basketball. Harris underneath, takes it, no good. Fighting for the rebound, rebounded by Young. Able to get down low to Harris, not expecting it. Sardone puts up the 3, and it's no good, and it will be a turnover on the shot clock violation.
Yeah, Harris just was not ready for that pass at all. Just fully expecting Young to just put that one up, and I mean, you always have to be, it's always good to be ready for a pass, but then just waited a little bit too long to really get a shot up.
Shaw gets it to March. Looking for someone down low, gets it to Mahoney. Now back to March again. Down low to Shaw. Shaw working against Harris. Nice spin move. And the take doesn't fall, unfortunately, for the Marauders as Gilliard lets it go out of bounds for the Vulcans.
Yeah, there's a good move inside especially, but just not able to get the finish. And especially always a little bit harder if you haven't really worked on it, or even if you have, to get finished with that offhand, especially coming off of a spin.
Gilliard to Sardone. Loses it a little bit trying to get it back to Gilliard. To Young down low. No shot, and they're going to say she traveled.
Yeah, right call there. Just got a little bit too excited. As I said before, you always have to be more conscious of your footwork and your footing, especially when you're working inside.
As March will bring it up now for the Marauders. As always, feel like a broken record saying that. Portwine gets it to Mahoney at the top of the key, trying to find somebody. Sees Shaw down low. Good defense by Gilliard. They're going to say that it went off the hands of Gilliard, and it's going to stay Millersville basketball.
Yeah, always good defense by Gilliard, but so you always have to watch. Always is nice to have help on that backside, especially when you're fronting the post, as Gilliard was. She now especially has good hands, so she's able to get into the passing lane. But you can't really afford to not have any backside help on situations as those.
Ortwine on the take. Nice floater, but doesn't fall. Rebounded by Harris. Gets it to Gilliard, who takes it up the court now for California. Picking up the tempo a little bit. Decides to drive it herself. Gets it blocked. Rebounded by Harris. And Harris, nice commitment to the basket. Able to get the score and the foul to make it potentially a three-point play.
Yeah, just haven't seen too much of Harris so far in this game. As I said, is a weapon, especially inside for this Vulcans team.
Alicia Harris, her shot is up and good. Three-point play. Score now 32, I believe. No, 31-26, excuse me. Unless they haven't updated the scoreboard, which is entirely possible. But it looks like it's 31-26. 6:40 and counting left in the third period. Gets it to Mahoney. They're going to get a charge call. Good job by Harris.
Yeah, that's a good take and a good call. Regardless of whether your feet are moving or not, you can't really lower the shoulder and bowl players out of the way.
As much as she probably wanted it, this isn't football we're playing basketball, but can't lower the boom too much. And they're going to get a backcourt violation there. It's going to be a turnover in favor of the Marauders.
Yeah, it's just at this point you really just have to slow down your offense. No need, especially if you're in control of the basketball, no need to try to hurry up and flip it back. Just take your time, set up your offense, and then run the plays that you need to.
Ortwine gets the screen from March. Sardone covering her. Mahoney against Young. Nice take there. Doesn't fall. And it's going to be out of bounds. And it's going to be Vulcan basketball.
Yeah. And right now, Vulcan's catching a couple breaks, and at least in these last couple of possessions, as they seem to be switching all screens. There's nothing wrong with that, but they're even switching off-ball screens that are away from the basket, and then you don't have anyone below the foul line. That kind of leaves that paint wide open for the Marauders.
Gilliard tried to force it down low to Young. No shot, and I believe it's going to be a foul on the floor. Yeah, they're going to get Elstone on the foul. That's her second foul, and team's fourth of this quarter. Young right there underneath to get the quick points for California.
Yeah, and to be honest, that's been a couple times where she's just been left wide open on the inbound. Just this time, Gilliard made sure to get the ball to her.
Shaw working against Harris and Williams. Jump ball will be called, and it will be California basketball.
Yeah, that was just good defense from inside from Kamaya Williams. Stood straight up, stood her ground, absorbed the contact, knocked, I believe, Mitchell off balance, and that's just good defense. You can't really ask for much more in a possession like that.
I mean, yeah, we always talk about, when you play defense and you're down low, just you're standing straight up, just keeping your arms up, avoiding the potential foul. Sometimes refs will call it, but sometimes they won't. That ball gets tipped away by Young, and it's rebounded by Williams, gets it out to Sardone to reset things. Gilliard now bringing it up to the top of the key, gives it to Williams. As the shot clock winds down, less than 5 seconds now. Shot goes up. No good. Rebounded by Mitchell. Forcing it up the court is the Marauders, as that shot is no good. Rebounded by Ortwine, and a foul will be called.
But just when those, just an unfortunate turn of events for the Vulcans there. But when a shot goes up, everyone should be crashing in on that basket.
That's going to be the media timeout. We're going to send it to a commercial break. You're listening to CUTV, CUTV Sports 1, and the PSAC Digital Network.
The 2024 NCAA Division II football playoffs are coming to Adamson Stadium this Saturday as the number 3 seed California Vulcans play host to the number 6 seed East Stroudsburg Warriors. Game time is 1 p.m., and be sure to follow Cal Vulcans on social media for game day information. Can't make it to the game? Then cheer on the Vulcans as the NCAA Division II football playoffs will be carried live on ESPN+.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Convocation Center. The score, 33-26 in favor of the California Vulcans. 4 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the third period. It's been start to this second half.
Yeah, it's just a lot, I guess, a changing game plan really here for the Vulcans, especially to put them up in this game. Now, having a little bit more luck and more, I guess, better outcomes, especially on the offensive and the defensive side, doing a better job of being able to play inside without fouling and just getting a hand up, at least in the Marauders' face every time they shoot.
Yeah. As believe that's number 1, Sophia Elstone, will be at the line for 2 shots, as right before the media timeout there was a foul on, I believe it was Alicia Harris.
At the line for the Marauders, number 1, Sophia Elstone.
So Elstone looking to bring this within 5 for the Marauders, as the first shot rolls around and falls out. Elstone's second shot is up and good, as she checks out and Shaw checks back in for the Marauders. Gilliard now taking it up for the Vulcans, moving right to left as we see. Trying to direct people around, get things going. Young from just beyond the foul line. Falls no good. Rebounded by Ortwine. Thought about taking it all the way, doesn't. Mitchell underneath. Has to get it back out. Able to, but shot was no good. Bringing it up now is Gilliard. Baylong thought about the 3. Doesn't take it. Gets it down low to Young. Young is able to draw the foul, and she'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, that's just a good look inside. I feel as if she could have got that shot up at least to the basket. Honestly, spatial awareness is just so important, especially the closer you get to the basket inside, and being able to use your body to protect the basketball becomes ever more important.
As Young's first shot is up and good, extending the lead by 7. Looking to extend the lead by 8. As I jinx it yet again, that shot falls no good. March working against Gilliard. Shaw now trying to get something going here. Picks up her dribble, has to get to someone, gets it to Mitchell. Mitchell able to get underneath to Shaw, and it's up and good.
Yeah, that's exactly what they'll do. As soon as they get it over underneath. Now, Gilliard came over on the backside, just a bit late. Got a good hand, but she was too close.
Trinity Baylong, a nice take there for the layup. That was impressive as the Marauders answer right back with a nice fast break by Shaw.
Yeah, that's Baylong. That was just a good take. Took it herself, kept possession of the basketball, and just took what was given to her.
Baylong now with it again. Picked up her dribble, looking for something. Macy from the wing for three. No good. Baylong able to get it. No good there. Rebounded by Young. Quick jumper from mid-range. Rattles around but falls good.
I'm honestly surprised that we don't see her shoot more of those. That just seems to be her bread and butter when the inside game isn't really working.
As a mid-range shot there from Shaw is good. As Ortwine's playing a little bit of pressure for the Marauders. Baylong trying to set things here and get people moving for California. 2 minutes and less than 30 seconds left in this third period. Gets it to Young. Young dribble, drive down low, double teamed, has to get it back out to Baylong. Baylong's going to take it herself again. Gets it blocked, able to get a rebound back. Sardone for three, no good. As it's rebounded by Ortwine. Ortwine looks for Mitchell, and they're gonna say she stepped out on the baseline.
I feel at this point, when you have teams that can play pretty good defense inside and are pretty good about being able to play defense without fouling, you really just have to learn to adjust. You either have to get a favor jump shots more, really, or put your body between them and the ball. And there's just been a few times where the Vulcans have just seemed to put it right in the Marauders' face, and they've just done a great job of just getting the hands on the ball and on the ball only.
As Olivia Huffman comes back in for Young, who's having herself a night. Young has 14 points on the night, so having herself a good game, but she's going to take a little breather on the bench as Huffman comes in. Gilliard to inbound, trying to get it to somebody. It's going to stay for California.
And they just seem to be running the same offensive set, but when you have players that seem to be running, you have to recognize.
Baylong's three, no good, as you were saying.
Yeah, my fault. Yeah, recognize whether the team's playing zone or man off the inbound, and there's a number of plays, grid plays that you can run off the two, and just really you have to learn. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities that you can get off the inbound, and they just seem to be running the same offensive set off the inbound.
As that foul goes against Olivia Huffman. That's her first and team second of this quarter. Rebound is taken by March. Huffman playing good defense. Taking it herself, was blocked by Williams. Rebounded by Baylong. Baylong working against two. Kicks it back out to Gilliard, who thought about the three. Doesn't take it. Back out to Williams. Thought about it. Doesn't take it. Baylong setting it back up for California. Trying to get something going. And it's going to be a kickball on, I believe that was Shaw. It's going to stay California on the bench. Bermudez in the game. Just now noticed that. Baylong to Gilliard. Gilliard not underneath now, but to Williams, now to Bermudez. Bermudez thought about the three, doesn't take it. Dribbles in for Gilliard, who takes it from three, and it's good. Talia Gilliard, what a shot from three.
And the Vulcans this game not favoring the three-point three ball, at least as much as we've seen prior, but it's a great shot by Gilliard on the kick.
Mitchell on a nice take there for two. Answers right back. Less than 35 seconds and counting left here in this third period. Baylong taking it herself. Thought she handed it off to Bermudez there. Looking to get something, letting the shot clock wind down ever so slightly. To Bermudez. Over to Williams, who's going to drive in. Kicks it out to Gilliard again from the wing. No good. Rebounded by the Marauders. Ortwine now on the drive. Kicks it all the way out to March. March on the mid-range jumper. No good. It's going to be rebounded by Gilliard, and I think she's just going to hold it until the end of the quarter. At the end of the third quarter, 41-35 in favor of the Vulcans. We're going to take a break. You're listening to CTV Sports 1. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
The Vulcan women's basketball team looks to continue its run of excellence into the 2024 season. Put on your red and black and cheer on Coach Jess Strom and her team towards another run to the postseason. Pack the convo for 14 home games for games against regional foes and the best the PSAC has to offer. Don't miss any information on the season by following Cal Vulcans on all social media accounts, and if you can't make it to the games, catch all the action on CUTV Sports 1 on YouTube and also the PSAC digital network.
1 in 10 kids vape. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Convocation Center for the final quarter of play here in this interdivisional PSAC matchup between the California Vulcans and the Millersville Marauders. Right now, California up 41-35, taking somewhat of a commanding lead right now. I mean, it's only by 6, but hey, lead's a lead.
Yeah, and to be honest, it's really just going to come down to who really wants it more at this point, because third quarter, both teams just started to hit shots a little bit more consistent. Defense started to change a little bit as well, but as long as they can keep up the momentum and just take the shots they're supposed to and do what they're supposed to on the defensive side, this will be a good game and close one as well.
As March now for Millersville kicks it out to Shaw, gives it to Mitchell. Vulcans playing really uptight defense here to start this fourth quarter. Mitchell looking for something, working against Gilliard down low, able to trying to get it down low to Shaw, but doesn't get it. Gilliard on the fast break, slowing it down a little bit, setting things here for California. No need to rush right away as you are up by 6. Plenty of time left in the final quarter of this game. Getting it down low to Williams was Huffman, as the shot by Williams is no good. As that shot to Shaw is up and the take is good.
Yeah, especially at this point in the game, you can't really afford to have the Belong the only one back on the defensive side. So it was basically a 2-on-1 situation and really just got over a bit too late.
Baylong for California. Having herself an okay night, decides to take it herself, and it's going to get stuck in the rim, and it's going to be a jump ball. That's only the second time this season this has happened. Once in, I believe, a men's game, or was it in a women's game? As Alicia Young checks back in, and Harris is back in as well, as they got to use the dry mop to get the ball out of the net.
Oh.
Like I said, that's only the second time that's happened. And for those who don't know if that happens, it is a jump ball, and it will be in favor of the Vulcans. Gilliard to inbound, kicks it out to Williams, tries to get it down low to Harris, and a foul will be drawn.
Yeah, always, I can't really state enough as a guy that sat in the post, really. You always have to watch how you throw into the post. Chest passes just aren't going to work. You either have to lob it in or bounce pass inside.
Young on the nice spin move. Take doesn't fall. Fighting for it is the rebound, and it's going to be Millersville basketball.
Yeah, I mean, both sides have really just gotten good looks, especially the Vulcans here a couple times. They're just not able to cash it in, and as this game gets tighter, those shots, those good looks become more important.
Shaw to March at the top now. Kicks it down low to Zentner. Zentner down low to Shaw, wide open again. And that same look seems to be open for the Marauders, and something that California definitely needs to look at trying to take away.
Yeah, just to be honest, I'd have just abandoned trying to switch all the screens. If you can stay on your man, stay, because they've just left a free person roam to the basket a couple times, one too many.
As the shot there by Harris is no good, rebounded by Shaw. Brought up by March. Over to Shaw at the top of the key. To Ortwine. To Mitchell. Back to March. Millersville doing a good job of moving the ball to Shaw, to Ortwine again. trying to get it down low. Has to kick it back out to Zentner. Contested 3 ball there. No good. Gilliard doing a good job at fighting for the rebound, but a jump ball will be called, and it will be in favor of the Marauders. As Macy Sardone comes back into the game for Sierra Bermudez. Brenna Ortwine to inbound to Shaw, who gives it back to Ortwine. Kicks it out to March. Almost drew a blank there. Mitchell on the other side. Dribble drives in. Wide open there. Nice take by Mitchell.
And again, another miscommunication. At this point, you might as well just stay home and then stay on whoever you're guarding, because at this point, they're just really failing to communicate it.
And with those little run that Millersville went on, Coach Strom will call timeout. We're going to keep it here. So, obviously, we were saying about how that whole main thing that the Marauders are running is the one thing that's hurting California, and obviously it shows. I mean, they've been on a little bit of I believe it was a 6-0 run in just doing that alone.
Yeah, and to be honest, and this is where the IQ comes in, where your athleticism really doesn't. Your IQ will make up for the athleticism you lack, and we've just seen a couple times where the Vulcans have gotten away with it just due to their athleticism. And one of the things that we see from the Marauders is they're lining 4 across and they're 4 up top. Yet we have whoever's in the post fronting the post, and that allows for an easy lob over the top. So at that point, you have to recognize what you have and where you're at on the floor and where your help is. And in such situations at this point, I really just say, just get behind the post, because every single time they lob it inside, they seem to just let it go. I'd say clog the lanes, because you've seen them, Marauders, continue to go inside. I mean, they'll shoot a jump shot in as well and get a hand in their face if you can, but clog the lanes, double team them in the post, or if they get so close, if you will, and if you have to, because we've just seen one too many times where they've had just miscommunications on the inside and have just allowed easy buckets that just should not have been there to begin with.
Yeah, Millersville, just checking there on the stats, actually on an 8-0 run now. So California trying to break that at some point here. As the final 7 minutes wear on down, Gilliard trying to get things going for California. Young down low on the nice take, gets fouled.
Sure. May have caught in a break. And to be honest, as I've said before, with how good Millersville is just playing defense inside, you're going to have to change up your game plan. And I'm just not seeing they're not creating enough space on the shot by using your body. Oftentimes, you pick up that ball, you dip your shoulder just a bit, not enough to get a charge, but enough to create space. And then, to be honest, they're still strong enough, you might have to fall away a little bit, or just continue the contact all the way through. Put your opposite shoulder into their chest, and that gives you enough space for maybe a little hook or a little scoop shot underneath.
Young's second shot is up and good, able to make both her foul shots, putting California up by a bucket now. As that foul went against Ryan Mitchell. Losing it there was Shaw, able to get it back to March, but right underneath to Mahoney. Puts it up, no good. Nice, strong rebound by Harris. Able to get it away, get it to Williams. Bringing it up for California, gives it to Sardone. Tries to get it down low to Young, is able to. Young on the nice shot, and it falls.
Yeah, I'd say Young has almost, in a way, a Jordan-esque type of game, meaning she likes those fadeaway shots in and around the basket. And that's just been her game, as we've seen time and time again.
Mitchell up to March. Yep. A blocking foul will get called. That's going to go against Young.
Yeah, and that's another thing, just the closeout. The closeouts are, you have to be smart about them. You have to recognize what the offense is doing. Do they like to shoot threes more and not really drive to the basket? Well, if that's the case, you can afford to get out a little bit more inside their face. But if they're continuing to just pump, fake, and drive, as they've just done time and time again, you just sit back a bit, maybe get in the course within hands reach enough at least close enough to get a hand in their face, but sit back and then just let them drive into you. You can't afford to really give up a baseline, especially when the help is a little bit late.
As that second shot by Ortwine falls no good. Rebounded by California. As Gilliard now brings it past half court. Final 6 minutes start to wind down here in the Convocation Center. Harris to Williams. Trying to get someone. Williams decides to take a three. No good. Rebounded by Ortwine, who pushes it up the court herself. Decides to pull it back, waiting for her teammate help. Shaw looking for somebody. Decides to dribble, gives it to Ortwine again. Back to Shaw. Decides to dribble drive. And a blocking foul will get called against Gilliard.
Yeah, and at that point, you just take the contact, try to stay upright, and there's nothing in the rules that just can't say that. I'm saying use your strength to advantage. You see a player driving, don't be afraid to plant your feet and just have them basically just drive into a wall. Keep them from the basket as much as you possibly can.
Shaw's first shot is no good. The one constant fan that we have getting into it. Shaw's second shot is up and good. Brings it within 2. Gilliard now trying to set things for California. Gets it to Harris. Harris on the dribble drive. Has it blocked. Able to get her own rebound. Fighting underneath the basket. Able to get it up. And it falls.
Yeah, just a good gather by Harris. Got blocked on one of the first attempts, but somehow able to gather and still get up a good look.
Mitchell on the dribble drive. And they're going to get a travel. Millersville starting to get some heavy pressure. Ortwine working on Gilliard. Gilliard able to break it. Trying to get things organized here as the final minutes wind down. Young decided to take a long range two, and it's good.
Yeah, and I'd say if you're feeling it and if you have a good look, might as well go for it. Of course, you want to work the ball a little bit, but just a good shot by Young, just in rhythm.
Shaw at the top to Ortwine. Ortwine down to Mitchell. Mitchell bringing it back to March. Excellent ball movement here by the Marauders underneath to Mahoney. Mahoney in a nice spin move. Doesn't fall. Able to get her own rebound. Nice defense by Gilliard, but it's going to go out on, they're going to say Millersville, and it's going to be California basketball. And that's the immediate timeout. We're going to send it to commercial. You're listening to CUTV, CUTV Sports 1, and the PSAC Digital Network.
Coach Danny Sancombe and the Vulcans men's basketball is ready to take the conference and the nation by storm this season. A non-conference schedule that starts on November 8th is followed by PSAC West play in January. Pack the Convocation Center with 13 home games featuring non-conference foes such as Concord, Lincoln, and Wilmington, as well as conference opponents IUP, Gannon, Slippery Rock, Clarion, Edinboro, Seton Hill, and Pitt Johnstown. Follow Cal Vulcans for the all-up-to-date schedule. Catch all the games on YouTube with CUTV Sports 1 and also the PSAC Digital Network.
If you're buzzed and doing this to make yourself feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Convocation Center for the final 4 minutes and 18 seconds of the game here. California up 49-43. It's been kind of a back-and-forth ordeal the entire game, mainly on the defensive end. Offensively, not too much happening for either team. I mean, it's gotten a lot better since the first half, but California is shooting 73 total shots from the field, only making 20.
I have to see what the shot average, but I feel like that's a good bit, 73. So especially, and then just the, I guess the number that's telling is just the number of offensive rebounds. 25 offensive rebounds here for the Vulcans.
It's been a battle underneath the basket for both teams so far this game. as the final 4 minutes and 18 seconds are about to commence. Millersville showing some relatively heavy pressure. Ortwine on Gilliard. That matchup that's been the past 6 minutes of this period. Gilliard gets it to Sardone. Underneath to Young. Young on the dribble, take herself. No good. Rebounded by Harris. Harris able to get it up and fouled on the way up, and she'll go to the line for 2.
I guess Harris really been proprietor in just these this offensive rebound total for the Vulcans.
Alicia Harris at the line for 2. Back into the game for Millersville, number 4, Morgan Mahoney.
As Morgan Mahoney comes back in the game for Millersville. First shot by Harris is up and off the back of the iron. Second shot by Harris is up and in and out of the iron. So both those foul shots missed by Harris. March on the drive, decides to pull it back out, pass it off to Zentner. March now against Sardone. Decides to take the 3, and it's good. Kaylee March from 3. Orwine on Gilliard again as they continue to show heavy pressure. Loses it for a second, but able to pick it back up. It's Gilliard trying to slow things down. The timeout will be called by California, I believe.
No.
We're going to keep it here.
30-second timeout.
But you're looking at some points for California. Right now, it's pretty much all been Alicia Young, nearly half of the team's total points at 20 points currently on the night. 20 points, 5 rebounds. She's been doing pretty much all the heavy lifting for this California team so far.
Yeah, and she just seems to be feeling her shot seems to be going in, and she seems to be in rhythm. And at this point, I just say create some space for her and just let her go to work at this point in the game.
Yeah, on the other side, Makai Shaw, 18 points on the night, as well as Kaylee March, who has 11 on the night. Gilliard brings it back for California. Working against March now. Young. Dribble drive, fadeaway jumper, and it's good. As you said, that bread and butter for Young. Proving itself there.
Yeah.
March over to Mitchell. Mitchell trying to find something. Underneath to Mahoney. Able to put it up, and it falls.
Yeah, that's just a good shot, and not really much you can do after the post play really gets that deep. And honestly surprised there has just been no double teams in the post by the Vulcans.
Williams at the top. Thought about driving it. Young from the deep 2. No good. Rebounded. It's going to be, can't tell if they called a foul there. Yeah, it looks like a foul. Yeah. And it's going to go in favor of the Marauders. And that's going to go against Gilliard. And that's her 3rd foul of the night. So she has to watch a little bit. She slowly starts to enter in foul trouble, as well as Harris, I just saw, is also in a little bit of foul trouble. Both of them have 3. As March trying to get things going here. Gives it to Zentner. Good defense by Williams. March, dribble drive, back out to the wing. California, looks like they're playing a little bit of zone matchup here. Floated underneath to Zentner, and the take is up and good.
You can't really afford to let that happen. It's just, they've just done a great job of really capitalizing off the post play. Have just been unstoppable these last couple of possessions, and the Vulcans have just done nothing about it. No double teams, no help on the backside, and if it comes, it's just late.
And with those few baskets, the score is now 51-50 in favor of California. Williams at the wing, thought about the 3, doesn't take it, drives in. Blake Hawk winding down, hook shot is no good. Rebounded by Zentner, gets it to Ortwine, circling around. Gets it underneath to Mahoney. Mahoney take up, no good. Rebounded by Gilliard. Good strong rebound there. And a timeout will be called again by Coach Strom.
And just, I guess, really Vulcans there catching a break. Just no inside help at all. Just have just been left alone on islands, especially when you have post players. You can't really afford to let that happen on the defensive side.
All right, yeah, as our resident referee and coach, I wouldn't say coach, but definitely resident referee.
I have some coaching experience.
Some coaching experience. If you're Coach Strom, what are you going over right now?
To be honest, you're looking for a good shot, and I just tell them to work the ball on offense. The offensive side, I can't really say is a problem. Really look for the hot hand. Look for Young, and she's been the hot hand. And just on the defensive side, we can't really stress enough just being able to play without fouling and just providing the help on the backside in the post. Just a couple times they've just gotten one too many good looks in the post, and there's no help, no double teams. And when you have a good post players like the Marauders have shown, you can't really afford to leave your players unloaded on an island, because when you get there, your body in between them, your defender and the ball, there's not really much, regardless of how good your defense is, there's not really much you can do.
As we come out of the timeout here, Millersville comes out first. Obviously, they weren't the ones who called it, so Millersville at this point, you're just looking to continue playing how you've been playing.
Yeah.
You may be down by 1 point now, but you still got a minute 15, which is plenty of time to take a lead and to expand on it with the way you're playing now.
Yeah. Vulcan scoreless, matter of fact, in the last 2 minutes of play.
Wow. So inbound to Gilliard. Bringing it up the court now. Looking to try and get some points on the board, as you said, after being scoreless for 2 minutes and counting. As the final minute winds down here. Young on the shot, no good. Rebounded by Williams, able to bring it out to Sardone. As the final minute starts to wind. Vulcan's probably trying to just wind down as much clock as possible.
And they're moving a little bit too late.
Yeah. Shot goes up and good. Talia Gilliard. That was, it seemed like a desperation, but it falls. And that puts Vulcans up by 3. 35 seconds and counting here in this game. Orwine back to March, to Mahoney. Mahoney at the top of the key. Clock winds down. To Orwine, to March. Takes a step back 3 from the wing, and it's good. Tie game. 19.6 seconds left in this game. The timeout's called by Coach Strom yet again.
And
wow.
just given a little bit too much space there. March is 4 of 11 from deep. So March has just been on it pretty much from like deep. And at that point, you can't really afford. Just gave her too much space, and she just knocked down that shot.
I mean, yeah, 14 points on the night for Kaylee March, And Shaw, the other hot hand for the Marauders at 18 points. Tie game, 19.6 seconds left. This game just got a lot more interesting.
Yeah, that's definitely for sure. 19 seconds left, and right now the ball is just in the Vulcans' court. They'll dictate what happens. They get the ball back. 19 seconds left, so you definitely want to hold for the last shot, unless it's just that good of a look. You can't possibly pass up. But I'm not sure how often, what the chance that'll happen is. But they can hold it for a last shot here, get a good look, and whether they just cut this game off now, we'll see whether they're able. And I'd imagine Marauders are just going to be pressing.
Oh, for sure.
Not allowing any good looks, especially at this point in the game.
Yeah, if anything, they're going to try and turn the ball over as quickly as possible, try and get it back, and even them hold it for the last shot for themselves.
Yeah.
As we get the inbound on our bench here, Gilliard, as the final seconds run down here, shot clock is null and void. Gilliard waiting. Sardone, heavy press. Foul's going to be called on number 3. That's Brenna Ortwine. That's the team's 4th foul, and it's her 2nd of the night. So Young to inbound now to Gilliard again. Final seconds here. Sardone off the back of the iron. Harris, no good. And we are going to overtime. 53-53. We're going to send it to a commercial right before overtime. You're listening to CTV Sports 1, the PSAC Digital Network.
The Vulcan women's basketball team looks to continue its run of excellence into the 2024 season. Put on your red and black and cheer on Coach Jess Strom and her team towards another run to the postseason. Pack the convo for 14 home games for games against regional foes and the best the PSAC has to offer. Don't miss any information on the season by following Cal Vulcans on all social media accounts, and if you can't make it to the games, catch all the action on CUTV Sports 1 on YouTube and also the PSAC Digital Network.
1 in 10 kids vape. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Convocation Center. The score, 53-53, and you know what that means. We're in overtime. What a game this has been so far.
Yeah, and both sides have just gone back and forth so far, and just, in my opinion, just a number of mistakes that really have pushed it to the overtime here.
So 5-minute overtime period here. 53-53 the score. As we will tip off here, as we would at the start of the game. Gilliard tips it. Actually, that was Young, tips it to Harris. Williams in the game. Gives it to Gilliard. To Sardone. Sardone looking for Young. Able to get it to her down low. Mid-range jumper. No good. Rebounded by Ortwine. Ortwine now on the break. Looked like she had a step. Decides to pull it back. Mahoney over to March. March down to Mitchell. Mitchell at the elbow. Back up to March, who wasn't really expecting the basketball. Almost said football. Over to Zentner. To Mitchell. Down to, I believe that was Zentner. And there's that backdoor look that we stressed time and time again here in this game. Open for the Marauders.
Yeah, and as I said, on the post, you can't really afford just to leave your players alone, especially when they get so close. At this point, you might as well bring in double team.
Williams at the elbow, or the wing, Back out to Gilliard at the top. Gilliard working, trying to get away underneath, loses it, and a foul will be called. And she will go to the line for 2.
Foul number 12, Kaylee March, her first.
It's going to go against Kaylee March. That's her first foul. Team's 5th. Cal U in the bonus now. Gilliard's first shot is up and off the back of the iron. Second shot by Gilliard is up and good. 55-54, Millersville, 3:40 and counting left in overtime. Vulcans playing really uptight defense now. Underneath the net, pretty much wide open, and they're going to get a travel on Mitchell.
I guess just a couple gifts so far for the Vulcans. And with these turnovers, you have to make the most of them, because that's essentially free possession of the basketball. Didn't really have to do much that entire possession, but you're hoping that you come away with something here.
Gilliard on Ortwine, as we've seen for most of the night. Gilliard, a good take. Kick out to Williams. Williams on the dribble drive in. Tries to get it down low to Gilliard, but it's stolen away. Mitchell on the take. And a foul will be called. And Mitchell will go to the line for 2.
And just...
Foul number 3, Alicia Young.
Yeah, you just can't really afford to have that. And I guess another thing is, once they get that close, don't turn your back, because I feel like they're more likely to call a foul in those situations.
Mitchell, first shot is up and good. She could probably hear it over the crowd mic. Our one fan who constantly gets into it during foul shots. Second shot is up and good. Has Mitchell there shushing the crowd a little bit, saying pressure doesn't affect me. As Gilliard hands it to Sardone, tries to get it to Harris. It could be a kickball on Ortwine. It'll be in front of the Vulcan bench. Sardone to inbound. All the way back into the backcourt goes Gilliard, bringing it up now. Final 3 minutes and counting. The pass was tipped and stolen away by Zentner. And they're going to give it back to her, and the take is up and good. These backdoor fast break looks killing the Vulcans currently. Score 59-54, 2:40 remaining in overtime. Young to Williams, to Harris, back to Williams. Kick out to Gilliard for three from the wing. No good. Fought for and out of bounds goes the basketball, and it's going to be Vulcan basketball underneath. As Baylog comes back in for Williams. And Gilliard will inbound for California. Gets it to Young. Young on the take. No good. It's going to fall out of bounds, and it's going to be Millersville basketball. Inbound is to March. He's taking it left to right as we see. Working against Gilliard. He's going to give it to Ortwine. Now to Mitchell. To Zentner. Back over to March. To Mitchell again. Millersville ball movement has been excellent this game. March. Going to step back. Thought about the three. Doesn't take it. Mid-range floater and hits up and good.
That was just a good move. Good pump fake, I guess. She's been hit on that three all day and just overcorrected a bit and then left for the floater wide open inside.
As Harris goes up and the points are good. Timeout called by Coach Strom. As I just looked at the stats, Bryn Zentner on the night actually has double-double, 10 points, 10 rebounds. So having herself a good night.
Yeah.
It's going to be a 30-second timeout. We're going to keep it here. But yeah, three players now for Millersville over double digits. March, Shaw, and Zentner. As I said, Zentner with that double-double.
Yep.
Having herself a good game. California, on the other hand, really it's been a one-person show, and that's Alicia Young. 22 of the team's 56 points. As we come out of the timeout, it's going to be Millersville basketball as Vulcans show heavy pressure. Bringing in a double team in the corner, trying to get it out. That's going to be a foul on Young. That's going to be her third foul of the night, team's fifth, which will put Millersville in the bonus. And she'll go to the line for two. March at the line. Give herself potentially two more points. She puts the one in. Second shot by March is up and good. As Bermudez comes in for Williams. Score now 63-56. Millersville up by 7, minute 30 left in overtime. As the Marauders showing good pressure. Gilliard working against Ortwine. Trying to get something going. Dribble drive. Floater shot, no good. And it's going to be off the knee of Harris. And it's going to be Millersville basketball.
Yeah, I guess. Of course, you want a quick shot with the current score, but there's just some that you just can't really afford to have. And that's just not necessarily a good look there. They're kind of off balance and everything.
As Williams comes in for Bermudez again. A 2-on-1 there almost. Harris working against Ortwine, trying to get something. Gives it to March. California now doing the double team as they get it to Mitchell. Down to Zentner, to Mitchell again. To March on Harris. And a foul will be called. Their coach, very, very animated on the sideline, looking like Coach Sankum of the men's team. That's Coach Kira Mowen in her second season as the Marauders head coach.
Back in for California, number 24, Sierra Bermudez.
Bermudez checks back in for Williams, and March is going to go to the line again for 2 more. First shot's up and good. Second shot by March, up and good. Bermudez to inbound. Trying to find somebody, gets it to Young. He's working against Mitchell. Young trying to force it down low. Quick fadeaway jumper, doesn't fall. Rebound fought for and eventually pulled down by Zentner. Flips it to Altweiler, to Mahoney. Doesn't decide to take the easy layup, just decides to dribble it around now. Give it to Ortweiler. There's another foul is called. Yes. The Millersville head coach loving it down there from what we can hear up here. It's going to be on Gilliard. That's her 4th foul of the night. As Ortwine for 2. First one off the front of the iron. Ortwine, second shot up, good. Gilliard pushing it up the court for California. Decides to take it herself. Is it tipped a little bit? Bermudez able to bring it in, and a foul will be called, and Bermudez will now go to the line for 2.
Foul number 4, Morgan Mahoney, her 3rd. Sierra Bermudez at the line for 2.
Bermudez at the line for 2. Bermudez, second shot is up and good. Final 20 seconds. Elstone back in for the Marauders. Final 20 seconds of the game here. Inbound here to Zentner, to Mahoney, and as she's just going to hold it, they're going to dribble it around, give it to Ortwine. Just going to give it to her teammates, and a foul will be called at the very last second. As I said, Millersville head coach absolutely loving it right now.
24, Sierra Bermudez, her 1st. Brenna Ottawine at the line for 2.
Ortwine at the line again for 2 more. First shot is up and good.
Yeah, that foul pretty much was unneeded. Too little, too really anything. Too little, too late at this point in the game.
Yeah, down 10. 4.5 seconds left. Now down 11. Final heave of desperation for California. Bermudez for 3. No good off the front iron, and that will do it. Millersville 68, California 57. California will fall to 3-3. Millersville improves to 4-1. Braxton, any final thoughts?
As I said, it's going to come down to just who wanted him more, and the Marauders did what they were supposed to. Just no adjustments on the end of the Vulcans.
All right, and that's going to do it from us. Have a good night.